This is St Michael's Chapel, and it's an intriguing building. It's 13th or 14th century. It's been repaired a little bit, and what's intriguing about it is because we don't exactly know what it was for. There are similarities with a similar chapel in RAME HEAD, and we do know what the RAME HEAD chapel was about. The intriguing thing is that it operated probably between the 13th and 14th centuries, and then we presume it was closed down during the Reformation. So for about 300 years this was an active chapel. The issue about it is that if we actually look inside, it isn't finished. Somebody spent an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money constructing this chapel, but they didn't finish the floor inside. Now, the floor inside is an unfinished part of the limestone outcrop that this building is actually built on.
Let's have a look, Kevin.
Yeah, you can go inside. You can't get in. But, and if we look at that, it's very much of an uneven floor. Now, we know that there wasn't a wooden floor there. In the entrance, it looks very worn, so we know that an awful lot of people walked into this chapel because just the sort of wear on the floor. There is a little sconce in there, so the assumption is a couple of suggestions on this, because for 200 or 300 years it doesn't show up in the cartularies of the Abbey. We presume, and it's almost inevitable, that the Abbey, inescapable, the Abbey did actually own this building and actually supported it and help people come up here as part of that Catholic tradition. So it appears to be some kind of a shrine. That's just what we're guessing at. The fact that the floor hasn't been levelled and hasn't been flattened, so why would you actually sort of build something like this and not finish the floor? So one suggestion is that it might have been the site of possibly some kind of a vision. Perhaps somebody appeared here and they didn't want to finish the floor, so people came and actually visited this chapel. Do we know much more about it than? Not particularly. It's intriguing that it's called St Michael's Chapel. St Michael was the archangel that defeated Satan, and St Michael is the saint of high places. So you've got St Michael's in Cornwall, we've got Mont Saint Michel in Normandy, I believe. So was that the reason? St Michael was also the saint that defeated Satan in the Bible. So another suggestion is that somewhere like this, because it's such on a high and most obvious place, was actually a pre-Christian site of some significance. And we do know that when Christianity came to Britain, that a number of old pagan sites were taken over and Christian sites were actually put on top of them. So really interesting, because we don't have any record for those 200 or 300 years, which, is that a coincidence or is it something else? Because we don't have that information, people have projected their own ideas on what this was used for. Some people say that it was a hermit's residence. Some people have said it's a lighthouse, but we're an awful long way from Torquay seafront, so why build one up here? Some people said it was a prison. It probably isn't. What it has done is it's generated so many legends and so many ghost stories about hermits, and it's supposed to be haunted, but so many old places actually are. But a fascinating building. We don't know an awful lot about it, so we're making fairly educated guesses about what it was for. I think and some of those ideas aren't actually mutually exclusive. So it looks like it was hugely important to the people of Torquay and what Torquay was known for in those days. But again, a little bit of guesswork, a bit of educated guesswork, but a lovely building, and so many people in Torquay don't even know it's here.